Hi everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel. That way you don't miss out on any of the fun crafty content that we have going on. Now in today's video, I'm really excited because I'm going to show you how to use Strip Flock Pro from Caesar along with some 3D Puff Htv from Starcraft and some Starcraft Soft Flex to make this really cute, inexpensive pot holder. I got this from the Dollar Tree and it's so stinking cute, and the other side is silicone. So this is really great because you're not really meant to touch this part with your hot item. You put your hand in and you use it like this so that you are never touching the hot part to the vinyl. That's really important that you don't do that because you will damage it. But I'm going to show you how to layer and do a bunch of different types of HTV together. And I'm also going to show you how we made this little Remy so that he's all different colors. So let's head over to Design Space so that we can get started.
Whatever we would do, we do it just for fun.
We are going to do a project with Strip Flock, which I'm super excited about, and we're going to use some puff with it as well. So I'm going to show you how to use contour to create your own design using a coloring page. So I just downloaded a coloring page from Google, and I just searched Ratatouille coloring page because that's just kind of what I wanted to use, and I found this super cute one right here. Now you'll see that we have a white background and the little rat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose complex and click continue. Now this is where we need to remove the background. So first let's try letting Cricut remove the background for us and see how it looks. This doesn't always come out amazing, so just keep that in mind. I think it actually did a decent job this time, so we're going to go ahead and let it work, but let me show you how to do it on your own in case you don't have Cricut access. What you want to do is choose this little select tool under manual. Then you just click away all of the white areas in your design. Now this is definitely a little more time consuming, but if you don't have access, this works great. And this is actually how we used to have to do it before they added the background remover. So you can just go through and click all of the little white pieces. Now on these smaller areas, you can zoom in on your image to help you click on them and get rid of them. So it's super simple to do, and we'll just get rid of, we got one more little spot, and I think we got everything. You can always zoom in a little closer just to kind of make sure that you got everything. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to see in like his tail area. And then what you can do is click preview cut image, and you'll actually see Cricut, their automatic remover, did a way better job than I did. Now I accidentally clicked on his black area, so I'm just going to go ahead and undo. And I'm going to go ahead and just undo everything that I just did because I'm going to let Cricut remove my background for me. Now another option is to go to remove.bg, which I show you guys all the time how to use that, but super easy. You can honestly just do that very, very quickly, and it works great. So we're going to just go with Cricut doing it, and we'll click apply and continue. Now I want to save him over here as a cut image and click upload. Once we've uploaded him, select him and add it to the canvas. Once it's in our canvas, what we're going to do is we are going to duplicate the image. That way we have two of them. Now this first one here, I want to contour it. So down in the lower right-hand corner under the word contour, if you click that, let it load, and it can take a couple of seconds. And all I want to do is hide all contours. But I want to make sure that this part right here is open. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on this piece because these two parts we want to have open. Go ahead and click off of that, and now you have your background Remy. Now what we want to do is go through and we are going to put all of his colors together. So what we're going to do is click contour, and you want to pick a spot that you want to keep the image and the correct color. So let's go ahead and let's start just with his spoon. That's going to be an easy one to choose. So what you want to do is click on all the parts that you want to disappear. So I want to make sure that his spoon actually keeps this little line in it because I do want it to cut that out because I want to see the black behind it. But we definitely don't want it to cut out some of these other parts. Now this part can be a little bit difficult and a little bit of a pain. So just keep that in mind. So it depends on where you kind of put your mouse on the screen, but you want to get rid of this background image because you'll see here's the inside of his spoon now. Now what you want to do is click away all of the parts that are not going to be his spoon. And you'll see that they kind of turn a darker gray as you go. And that's how you know that you have that part selected. You're not always going to be hovering right on top of the part that you want selected. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes when you click, it might pick something else. So just watch for those parts to be selected in that dark gray. So again, we're getting rid of anything that is going to be not his spoon. Now this part right here can be a little bit of a pain, his little nose. And sometimes if I can't get it to select the way I want it to, you can go over to this panel and find the parts of his face that are not selecting correctly and just select them over here. Go ahead and close this out once you just have your spoon, and we're going to change the color of our spoon and we'll just make it brown. Now we need to put this to the front of our image, so we're going to right click and bring it to the front. Then you can just lay it right on top of your Remy. I think it looks pretty cute, and so far we're doing all right. Now I'm going to duplicate this guy and move him over, and we're going to click contour again. What you want to do is click hide or show all contours until you get the outline again. I forgot to duplicate the outline, so make sure you always have an extra outline because it can be kind of a pain to have to click those buttons. So I'm going to go ahead and contour, and this time let's contour out anything that isn't his hat. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to get it so that it selects the outline, and then I want to get rid of anything that isn't his hat. So you'll see here I kind of got to click the spoon in a couple different places. And we'll just go ahead and do his hat. His hat is going to be done in Puff. And we'll do the gray part of his body. We'll use the strip flock for that. So again, see I got this weird part of his face. Let's see if we can get the nose to go away on its own. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Nope, see it's just going to be a pain today. Oh, there we go. Now that we've got his hat, do the same thing. Go ahead and click that off. Change the hat to white, and you can place the hat over your black outline. Go ahead and duplicate the lines again, and I'll go through this one a little faster just because this video will be super long if I go through every single part. So I'm going to go ahead and just do his gray part really quickly, and then I'll do his pink part, and then we will be ready to go. And now we have our entire little Remy ready to go. You can see he's not a ton of colors. He's pretty easy to do, and you can do this with any image that has like an outline to it. It's super simple to do. I've shown you this a couple different times. So now what I want to do is size him because we're going to put him on a t-shirt. So we're going to make him a little bit shorter, probably about like 9 or so inches. And you can add text or whatever you want to this, but I'm just going to leave it as is. And now you'll see that we are ready to go. Now, if you want him to face a certain direction, you do need to make sure that you mirror him. So I'm going to go ahead and select him and flip him. That way his little spoon is on it would be his left side when we make this. Now again, we're going to cut this with a couple different types of HTV. I'm going to use Starcraft Soft Flex for the spoon and for his black background. I'm also going to use, I think, Soft Flex for his little ears, but we might also use Strip Flock. I'm going to see what colors I have, but it's just kind of up to you and how you want to do it. But we're definitely using Strip Flock for his gray portion, and then I'm going to use Puff for his hat. And we're going to use the Starcraft 3D Puff HTV. So now that we're ready to go, all we have to do is click Make It, and it'll bring everything up into its own mat. Now you'll see here that we have the gray Remy, the white hat, the black background, his pink parts, which are like his ears and his feet and his tail, and then we have his spoon. Now we're going to need to change the cut settings for these, and I'm going to show you how to find the recommended cut settings for the different vinyl that we're going to use. If you go to 143vinyl.com and click on the Resources tab, you will see that there is a material cutter and press settings. I'll link this directly down below so that you can find it super easy. Click here to download the file, and it's going to open up a PDF version of a chart. So what we'll do is we're going to scroll down. The first couple pages are adhesive vinyl, and then you get into the HTV. Now, like I said, we're going to be using a couple of different types of HTV for this. So the first type that we're going to be using that is on our list here, if you scroll down, you're going to find Caesar Strip Flock Pro. They want you to do the iron-on plus setting, so that's basically everyday iron-on with more pressure. And then you'll see here that it also tells you how to heat it. So this is heated at 311 degrees for 10 to 15 seconds, and it's a medium warm peel. Then we can scroll down, and we're going to be using a couple of other types. So right here we have the Starcraft Softflex. This is cut on everyday iron-on, and this is pressed at 285 degrees for 8 to 10 seconds with medium to firm pressure. Now, heating it a little bit more over that 285 when we do the layering is not going to hurt it. It will be okay. These have been tested and things, so just keep that in mind. Now, Puff is not listed on here, but Puff cuts on the everyday iron-on setting and does have a few little caveats to how we press it. So here on the 3D Puff page, it gives us our directions. Like I said, it cuts on everyday iron-on with the Cricut, and then it has application instructions. We need to press it for 285 degrees for 10 to 12 seconds with medium to firm pressure, and then we peel off the carrier sheet. The next time we press it is to maximize that 3D effect. We need to remove the protective film and the carrier parchment paper, so we need to take the Teflon sheet off. We want to press it a second time directly against the heat plate with the temperature of 285 for 4 to 6 seconds. This should work beautifully. I've done this a ton of times and it works great. I've also layered this, so it's fine to repress some of your other layers. And I'm going to show you guys how we do that so that we make sure that we don't damage anything else. So let's go ahead, get ready to cut this out, and get started. We are ready to cut the 3D Puff HTV. So this product is a little bit different. So you're going to see two different sides here. You have a shiny side, and then you have this really dull side. This really dull side is actually your carrier sheet. And I will tell you, you want to make sure your mat's pretty sticky with this stuff because the matte backing is not super good to stick down to like a non-sticky mat. So you just want to make sure you have this the right way. Now, if you ever question it, what you can always do is just peel up a corner, and you'll see that one side is your vinyl, or your HTV in this case, and the other side is your carrier sheet. So let me go ahead and get this ready to load. This cuts on the everyday iron-on setting. Now, before I ever unload this, I always double check that cut. So I did add some words to this, so I'm just going to kind of see if this center of the A looks like it cut well. It's always a good place to try, is kind of the middle of your letters. Let's see. Now, I will say I might need a new blade because this one, oh well, it helps if I'm actually picking the right spot. I was trying to pull the whole A off. There we go. Yeah, that looks like it's good. I'm going to just double check since I did such a terrible job there. Perfect. That is going to weed beautifully. So now what we can do is unload, and we'll switch this out. The next part that we're cutting is the Starcraft Softflex. So I just have a big roll. I like to just leave the big roll together, and then I go ahead and I just place this on my mat, and I just lay it down. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's fine. We're cutting a pretty small thing, so that little gap right there will be okay. So we'll go ahead and get this loaded, make sure that's well stuck down. Again, you want to make sure that you're putting it with the carrier sheet side down. Now, with the Starcraft Softflex, you can see how shiny this side is. This side's much more dull. So you'll always want to check if you're not sure by just peeling up the corner. The next HTV we're going to be cutting is finally the strip flock. So again, this one really is very obvious which side is which. This is shiny, and then this side's really dull. So this is the HTV side, so you want to make sure that that is up on your mat. Now this is cut on the iron-on, the everyday iron-on setting, and then you just put it on more pressure. This is pretty thick, so we will definitely be double checking our cut before we unload. So I'm going to go ahead and load this in. And we're going to go ahead and let this cut out, and then we'll double check it before we unload. decided to put this on this really cute little, I don't know, oven mitt thing from the Dollar Tree because I thought it would be perfect. And look how cute. So he's going to sit over to the side a little bit since we added the words, which I just typed in some text. So you don't have to do anything too crazy when you do that. So I just like to do a quick dry fit just to make sure I have all the parts. I cut everything. Everything looks like it's gonna fit, you know, all those types of things. This does not have to lay perfectly. It's just basically me checking and making sure that all of my pieces parts are here and good to go, and I didn't like misweeding anything. So it's just one of those like extra checks that I do to make sure that I didn't mess it up. So there's that. And then I gotta cut his hat off of his carrier sheet here. Now these carrier sheets are not sticky, so we may need to use a little bit of heat tape. That's okay. So we're just gonna kind of lay everything down. Oh, so cute. This is gonna be adorable. So I'm gonna go get the heat press set up. Now the first things that we're gonna press are the soft flex. So we're gonna do all of the pink, the brown, and the black first, and then we'll come back in and we'll do this, we'll do the strip flock, and then we will do the puff. We have our heat press set at 285, and we're gonna press this for just a couple of seconds to tack it down. So this is the Starcraft Soft Flex HTV, and this is one of my favorites. It's matte, it's easy to use. So the first thing I said, we're gonna press it just for a few seconds. I usually do about 2 or 3 just to get it to kind of adhere to our item. And then this is a warm peel, so you peel the carrier sheet off as soon as you're done. Now, as for what you do next, you can kind of choose what piece of your design you want to place next. It's up to you. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and do the spoon next. This one, I just want to make sure it's really well lined up. And I think I need to angle it a little bit more. So take your time with this. It does take a little bit of time to kind of figure out exactly where you need to lay things to get them to sit correctly. And then again, we're just going to press it for just a couple of seconds. So we'll just give that a quick 3-second press, and that guy will be pressed down. Now, one thing I will recommend is let this cool a little bit between your layers, because if you don't, you can end up with some bubbles in here. So sometimes I'll just kind of let it sit for a little bit, let the vinyl itself cool down. It's not super hot, but it is very warm. So you just want to kind of give it a little bit of time. Give it some time to really cool. That way you can make sure you don't get bubbles. We only have one more layer of soft flex to go, and that is his cute little tail and his feet and his hands and his little ears. So while I'm kind of letting it cool, I'm going to lay these down and get them lined up where I want them. And I'm going to let this cool for an additional few seconds just so that I make sure that it is nice and cool, because it is still pretty warm. So I just want to make sure that I don't end up with any bubbles in my design. I've let this cool for just a few moments. It's pretty cool, like it's cool to the touch. So I'm going to go ahead and, again, I'm just going to do a quick press. I'm not going to do a full press yet because I still need to do the soft flex and the puff. So I just do a few seconds, let this cool down for just a moment, and I'm going to go ahead and peel this off. You can start to see our Remy coming together. He looks so cute. Now I do have a pressing pillow under this, even though this is a little bit puffy. I just want that little bit of extra oomph just to make sure that this is really getting a good press. We need to adjust our press to 311 degrees for our Strip Flock Pro. So all I need to do is just reset this, and at Strip Flock Pro, I usually press it about 10 seconds. We're now ready to press the Strip Flock, which is so cute. So all we have to do is the same idea. We're just going to line it up onto our design. Now the carrier sheet on this is not super sticky as well, so just kind of keep that in mind. So you'll want to kind of make sure you really press it down before you press. So let's give that a second, see if we like it. I think that looks good. So again, we're going to just give this a nice press. And this is pressed at a medium to firm pressure. I'm going to do a full press on this one because it'll withstand the puff press just fine. So I like to do a full press on the Strip Flock, and then we can pull this up. And this is a warm peel as well, so you can just go ahead and pull that up. And this is what we have so far. Look, he's so cute. So we need to do the puff next, and the puff is a couple of steps that I'll go over with you. I've reset my press to 285 because that's what the puff press is at. And then I'm going to put some heat tape onto my vinyl or my HTV so you can see. first one I'm gonna lay down is the Anyone Can Cook, and I just have a little bit of heat tape, and that's what we're gonna use to hold this down where we want it to sit. This is just gonna help it kind of stay put because that carrier sheet is not sticky. We'll do the same thing for his cute little chef hat. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of heat tape on here, and we're gonna get his hat lined up. Now this is a little hard to see through because it is so opaque and it is kind of frosted. So it is a little difficult to kind of see exactly where his hat needs to sit. So you may need to kind of play with it a little bit, move it around, kind of fidget with it, and figure out exactly where it goes. So we're gonna let our press cool down to 285, and then we can press everything. Now that our press is back up to temperature, what we're going to do is press this first press for 10 to 12 seconds. So I tend to lean towards the 10 side more than anything. So again, this is gonna be medium to firm pressure. We're gonna go ahead and put this on, and we're gonna let this press. The next step is important because if you don't do this, you're not really gonna get that puff that you want. And I'm gonna show you what the puff should look like because I see a lot of people who do this and their puff does not look correct. So go ahead and pull off your carrier sheets, and you're gonna see it puffing some as you go. Now for some reason it didn't press this one as well as I would have liked. Let's go this direction. There we go. Perfect. Now his little hat's so cute. So now what we want to do is we're going to remove the Teflon sheet. Now I have magnets on mine and they are hot. So I'm going to grab one of my heat protecting gloves here, and I'm going to pop my magnet up, and I'm just going to put this hot magnet right back on to my heat press because it's already hot, so I don't want to put it on something else. You're going to take your Teflon sheet and get it out of the way, and I usually just kind of lay it next to my press. And the next thing that we're going to do is press this for 4 to 6 seconds. And you're going to press it at 285. So just go ahead and press down, and you're going to press that for, again, about 4 to 6 seconds. So that's 6 right there. And it is going to give you the correct look of the puff that you want. Here is our little Remy. Look how cute. And can you see the puffing of the vinyl? Do you see how it's kind of puffy? Super fun, super cute. I'm gonna put this on the table, get you guys a better view. Our little chef is all finished. Look at how cute little Remy came out. He's so fun and so cute. And then I just want to show you the puffiness. Can you see how puffy that is? So fun and so puffy, but what we are really focused on is this strip flock. So soft, so easy to work with, and really, really super fun. Now I will say it doesn't do really tiny details amazing. They are a little harder to weed, but you can see that I was able to weed out his little whiskers. It is a little bit tough to do, but with a little bit of patience, it was easy and it did come out, so I wasn't too worried about it. But I think this just came out so fun and so cute. And this is just to show you can kind of combine different types of vinyl to make really fun projects. So now we have a little puffy hat and the words are puffy, and then we have this soft little Remy here. This was so fun, so easy to do, and I showed you guys how you can take a coloring page and make your own fun design using some fun colors. If you have any questions about this or anything else that we do here on the channel, please let me know and tell me your favorite dish to cook down below. If you have a recipe, please share that as well because I'm always looking for fun new things to try. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting.